Welcome everybody! As you already know, and as we usually do on this channel, we are going to cook two dishes. One being, as the title says, Sonic the Hedgehog's favorite dish, the chili dog, and the other one, yeah, it's kind of a surprise. A weird, edible, delicious surprise.
That's no good.
Starting with the bread, we're gonna pour some flour into the working table. We form a hole to add the rest of the ingredients. Next, just mix the milk, sugar, yeast, and a pinch of salt. After the mixture is homogenized, just pour it in the hole we made in the flour. Then mix and knead until the initial dough is formed. Lastly, we add the butter and keep kneading until the dough is ready. Finally, just shape it into a ball and put it in a bowl and then let it rest and rise for at least 2 hours. Now that the volume is double, just divide the dough in portions of 80 grams each, along with a couple of 40 grams each. You'll see why soon. Again, shape every piece like a ball, let them rest for 5 minutes, and then proceed to stretch them. And finally, form a roll with each one like we're watching here. Lastly, just put the ball in an open plate and then let them rise until the volume is doubled again.
I hate chili dogs!
Now for the chili. First, we're going to start with a good tomato sauce. It is pretty simple. Start by peeling some tomatoes, then chopping them along with onions and crushing a garlic clove. We just put all the mentioned ingredients in a cooking pot and let it with some butter and let it cook until they're ready, not before adding salt and pepper up to taste, along with a tablespoon of sugar. Next, we're just gonna add some previously hydrated red kidney beans into a cooking pot with boiling water, along with some chicken or cow or pork bones, or why not, all of them. Next, let's go for the chili paste. You can use any chili you want, habanero, poblano for example, but in this occasion I'm going to use Peruvian panca chili. Just put it in a heat-resistant container with a garlic clove and then some boiling water, around a cup. Then let it hydrate until it's soft enough to blend. You can blend both the tomato sauce and the chili separately or together, doesn't really matter. Wow. Now that they are done, we pass the beans through a strainer and we can reserve the broth for later. I personally like to crush a portion of the beans so the final result have a creamier texture. Now, onto the chili cooking itself. We're going to add in a hot pot some chorizo and ground beef and then let it cook until they're done. After that, just take out the meat and add some minced onions. Cook them in mid-high heat until they become brownish, you know, half caramelized. And finally, add the ingredients one by one. Chorizo, the ground beef, the tomato sauce, the chili paste, the beans and the broth in which we cook them. Oh, and in the last minutes I also decided to toss a Peruvian yellow chili or ají amarillo to add a punch of flavor and spiciness. Then just finish the seasoning with some oregano and we are pretty much done with the chili. Just let it simmer for a few minutes until it gets the desired consistency. Back to the bread, just cut it with some egg wash and get it into the oven.
After I do some bad stuff, I'm certain I'll do some more.
Alright, for the main element of the dish, we're going to make a sausage out of beef and pork. 70 and 30% respectively. I recommend the chuck cut for the beef and the shoulder cut for the pork. As we can see here, we're slicing the meat into smaller pieces. And for the seasoning, we're gonna use some sweet paprika, a garlic clove, black pepper, thyme, and some smoked salt that I passed through a pepper grinder. Finally, put the meat and the seasoning in a meat grinder or a food processor and keep on it until you get the desired consistency. Now, if you don't have a meat grinder, you can use a piping bag with a pastry nozzle, just like you're watching right here. Oh. Okay, after changing into a tougher one, I did manage to make the sausages. And to be completely honest, I wasn't able to find any sausage casing because it's not that easy to find from where I live, so I used the ones that came with the chorizo I used for the chili.
I'll have to give myself a promotion.
And now that they're done, we're gonna leave them there to rest for a bit, and let's go for the relish. This step is simple. Let's just slice and dice a cucumber, in this case it's a Japanese cucumber, and just place it in a pot along with a mix of salt, a bit of pepper, sugar, water, and white vinegar. Cook it on mild-low heat until the mixture gets into a syrup-like consistency, and then it's ready. Just leave it to cool down until we need it. Finally, time to cook the sausages. 5 to 6 minutes per side, and I also made a smaller one. You'll see why soon. And lastly, time for the serving. Enjoy! Wait. It's about to get weirder. Yes! Yeah, take a look at this. Yeah, that's a hot dog sushi from Mother 3. I'm gonna attempt to make it, and to be honest, don't take that too seriously because this is more like a fun experiment than an actual dish. But also, not gonna lie, I was kind of satisfied with the result, and okay, let me show you. We are going to start with the sauces. This one being teriyaki. Just add a garlic block and a small piece of peeled ginger with some drops of sesame oil. Let them cook for a few minutes, then add some soy sauce and sugar and a dash of rice vinegar. Let it simmer and reduce until it gets a syrup consistency. The thickness is up to you. Next, we're going to make a ginger mayo. Start by placing mustard and egg yolk, and then beating with a hand whisk, while at the same time pour some vegetable oil in form of a small thread, and keep doing it until the mayo is done. Next, we're going to peel and grate a piece of ginger and add it to the mayo along with some drops of sesame oil and lemon juice. Oh, and a very small dash of rice vinegar and salt up to taste. Next and finally for the rice. Put some in a bowl and wash it truthfully around to 6 to 8 times to get all the impurities and extra gluten out. Then just put it in a rice cooker or in a pot with the right amount of water. In this case, for Japanese rice, we are going to need for each cup of rice 1.5 cup of water. I am using 3 cups, so it's gonna be 4.5 cups of water. While it's cooking, we're gonna make a mixture of salt, sugar, and rice vinegar that we're going to pour into the rice once after it's cooked. The proportion is going to be for each unit of weight of vinegar, half unit of weight of sugar, and a quarter unit of weight of salt. Now that the rice is ready, just gently take it out of the pot and put it in a bowl. And again, gently mix it with the mixture. And finally let it cool, so we can use it properly. Oh, and for the filling, just slice and dice some avocado and cream cheese. And we're done. Alright, without any delays we can say, enjoy. Finally! It's weird, but pretty good, not gonna lie.